So Deb,
Hi.
let me know when I can bucket bitch for you again.
I might die. No, I was saying on air
It's
that
okay.
your job was amazing.
I'm just messing with you. Always happy to bucket bitch.
You're very good. You might have been who I learned from. I'm like, wow.
Well, anyway, so are we out there for everybody or just the members?
Just the members, right?
Oh, okay. So just the members.
Okay.
I was gonna pimp this webinar to everyone on the planet, but you guys already know how awesome it is.
What?
Check your mic. We can hear you. No, that, yes. Now say one.
One, two, three. Are we good?
Good? Okay.
All right. I found the other piece, by the way.
What other piece?
The one that was missing, the mic from yesterday.
Oh, you did?
It was in my bra.
In your crotch?
In my bra.
Oh.
Not my crotch this time.
Same shit. So, we're having this awesome webinar. I missed it. I'm sorry. I missed the first part.
It's creative.
But, well, really? So I just walked in and saw something amazing, but I don't know what it is yet.
Oh.
And we were gonna talk about how I like to judge.
Yes. So if anybody doesn't know, Pina does judge creative.
Yeah, I do.
She's done creative, but she judges creative. So what did it look like to you? Give me a. What were you feeling there?
Nothing,
It was
really.
just color.
Right now, just color.
Yeah, it was all mushed in.
Right. And so there's some kind of ombre. I don't know if it's gonna stay or not, but
Who knows?
who knows, right? Because it is creative.
Yes. Sometimes we roll with it.
Yeah. So could you do this in the salon? Do you do this in the salon?
Definitely. We did this one like specifically for salon setting. We had a kind of an everyday miniature poodle with a little over an inch of coat.
Yeah.
And we came up with our idea, collaborated on it, and then knocked it all out in basically the whole thing will be 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the face you did, guys. The tassels is amazing.
I love those tassels on that dog.
And an amazing thing. No, I mean tassels are great on any dog.
I love them. They're one of my favorites.
So the client could still want some hair on the ear, right? But we don't want any hair on the inside and maybe even outside on top because it gets freaking matted.
Yes. Yes.
So, and she's starting with a little bit of an ear infection right now.
Oh, maybe this will clear it up.
I just cleaned it up when I prepped her. I'm a good prepper, huh?
You're great.
I'm a good fluffer.
Great fluffer.
But yeah, and this is gonna help a lot because there's no hair around.
Yeah.
We can put some medication and it's not gonna grease it up. It's not gonna look like
The stringy
the
gross
stringy
where you have to
gross.
use the degreaser and get it all out.
or
Yeah.
the powder.
The powder. Yeah. It's gross.
But so in the salon, this is possible. Do you charge a lot more money for something like this?
It really depends on myself.
I'm not asking you for numbers.
Yeah. No,
but-
right. So you know, if you're looking to like practice this and do a lot of it, you're gonna charge less or nothing. But you have to look at these guys as a part of like your marketing. So I usually take it out of my marketing budget, honestly. It is marketing. So if there's a dog that I see, I've done them a few times and it's super cute and it's something like I wanna maybe think about doing a specific type of design on this dog and go to this event, never charge for it. I take it out of my marketing budget. It comes out of my time and it comes out of my product, usage.
Okay, yeah.
But if it's something that like, oh, hey, I saw, so-and-so had this like really cute little tiger haircut, I want my dog to have a giraffe. Absolutely, I'm charging for that. And I charge kind of a lot more.
So one could go out as marketing, and then
Yes.
whatever comes from there, then you charge.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And I've done these events where like I have had my little dog walking through these events and they're like, they don't know who I am. They know my dog. And they're
Right,
like,
right.
oh, does Deb Compton groom your dog? You know, and I'm like, yeah. So you get really well known in your neighborhood and you get really well known with your clients and stuff like that. And I've had like commercials, people like come for commercials and stuff like that. Like, oh, we want this dog pink for this commercial, you know,
I'm
and
sure.
stuff like that. I'm like, wow, all right. So it's a good way to get yourself out into your community. So
But it's
sometimes you're not
also-
charging.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it could be like 1 or 2 dogs, but
Yep.
it does bring income
Yes.
in the end.
Yes,
Extra income.
definitely.
That's the point
Exactly.
for everybody. So you
Looking
learn
at
to
it
do
like a
that.
billboard. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, listen, I don't do that.
You do something similar, it just doesn't take color. You're just doing the breed profiles and they're
Right.
executing at the highest level. So it's really similar.
It's creative and
Yes.
it's creative
Yes.
and it's sculpture.
Yes.
Just like this is just more detail, more
Yes.
intricate, but
Yes.
but it's sculpture. But I did it once with Deb. She taught me how to do it hands-on.
Yep.
Well, I've done it hands-on before because I had to take classes in order for me to judge creative.
Right.
And so that kind of, even if I don't do it every day, I still know what to look for and how to judge it because I took 5 classes and the private with Deb
Yeah.
and all of that. And I did it myself. So
It
I
was
always-
really freaking good too.
Well, thank you. But I always say if you're judging something, you should be able to do it
100%.
yourself.
100%.
Because if I've never done it, I would never accept the judging assignment. So, but it's very interesting and it's fun to judge creative.
Yes.
And so here's how I go about it.
Yeah, let me know, because yeah.
I have to turn around and look at the dog and see what it is
Yeah.
right away.
Yep.
Like if it's a face, I need to know, oh, that's a face right away. Or if it's a bird or a flower, I need to know it's a flower right away.
Yeah.
Now, myself, personally, to me, less is more. And it has to have taste to it. And even if it's done well, but I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure looking at it,
Yeah.
that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I understand that there's a lot of work that went in there, so I'm just sharing my point of view and how I see creative. You remember Charmed
Yes.
years ago?
Yes.
That's my favorite creative.
That's awesome.
Do you understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
So Charmed was a white standard poodle
Yes.
with black tips. Let's put it that way. She had black on the bottom of the feet, black ears, huge black mohawk, with some red, a little bit of
Yes.
stones, but it was so tasteful.
Yeah.
And I understand that it could be more than Charmed, but it needs to make sense, it needs to be in balance for me.
Yep.
And it needs to be tasteful. So first, I need to turn around, not have a seizure.
Yep.
That's a plus.
Step 1.
Step 1. That's a plus. And know exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And then it's still a grooming competition, guys, or
Yes.
it's still grooming.
Yes.
So your lines need to be sharp, your scissor work needs to be sound.
Yes.
Your feet need to be nice and neat and round. And if you're doing a face that doesn't have a color, it needs to be a well-groomed face.
Yes.
And so it's still a grooming contest. I've judged it a few times. I've seen some pretty cool designs, but the dog is not groomed,
Yeah. Yep.
right? So
Yeah, that's a thing.
And sometimes dog is not even clean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've seen a couple of white feet that are not white and
Yeah.
there's no color.
Yep.
And so just keeping in mind that when you're doing creative, it's not just that piece of design. The dog has to be groomed. How am I doing? so far.
On point. I mean, and you're also like checking all the boxes. Like for me as a groomer, you know, you'll hear me talk about maintaining like the elegance of the dog. It's still a dog.
Yes.
It's still grooming. It's still hair. So like prep work and everything else, you know, has to be on point. And I've seen all the same things, like not the dirty. That's a new one, but
Dirty feet,
dirty
for
feet.
sure. Yeah.
Where I sometimes will look, you know, and try and understand what I'm looking at. I don't necessarily know a lot of like the video games and things like that. I always try to look them up and understand how it's translating. But if it's not translating, it's like it gets lost. And I see a lot of times too where it's just tons and tons of like edit people, like please edit, because there's a spot here, let's put something here, and then I have room for something here and room for something here, but it's, and then you've got all these elements and you're just kind of like lost in the whole groom.
Exactly, yeah.
And even if it's done to like perfection, you know, less is more for me as well. I'm a very edited person. I like less.
I love edited stuff, and it has, I mean, colors have to work together as well.
Yes.
Because I've seen bright yellow right next to bright purple, right next to, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And then right next to red.
Yes.
That doesn't work together for me.
Nope.
And so colors have to work as well. Even if it's a flower, there's no theme, right?
Right.
But it still has to, the colors of the flower have to work.
Yeah.
So for you guys, whoever decides to do it at the shop for your clients, what it needs to be is pleasing to the eye. And so that gives people feelings.
Yes.
And emotions.
100%.
So when you look at something, that's a negative emotion.
Right.
And reaction.
Definitely, and you don't ever want that with creative.
No. And I've done that a couple of times before, It's just not, it's not that it was a bad job, technically.
Yes.
But it was way too much for me. I was just, what is that?
Yeah.
Like there's this character right here, and then there's this character, and then there's whole lot of shit going on in the middle of the dog.
Yeah.
And then you come close, and I open up the scissored and the hairsprayed stuff.
Yep.
Some bled in, some didn't.
Yeah.
You'll
see roots, and you'll see, yeah.
But a little 2 steps back, it looks good.
Yes.
But then you go in and you look at the detail.
Yes.
And same thing with breed profile. Attention to detail.
Yep.
Is what it is, and even more in creative, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with that. I've seen, you know, in a lot of the groups and everything where you'll have somebody that's very, very, very new that tries to put, we'll just say color, mohawk, things like that, kind of their first attempts at creative, and then walk out to the dog park and go show it off, and then they get negative reactions.
Yeah.
And they can't figure out why. It's not good for creative at all. You know, and we have to protect creative. Creative is something we have to protect. I mean, we've had TV shows out there and things like that, but they got canceled because it's too much for a lot of the public. It's not everybody's taste, and you know, there's the very natural pet lovers that want to just rescue all these dogs, and they don't like what we're doing. It's for us. It's our ego. Blah 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 blah.
That want to come and open crates at Westminster. Those. You
yes,
mean?
exactly those. You know, and so you know, bottom line is we all have to work as a team to protect what we have here with creative, and I think a lot of people don't really understand that this is like, a lot of times this is a relationship between you and your dog.
Yes, because you spend so much time together.
Yes. And, you know, when you have stuff that's poorly done, and I understand there's a lot of practice work and stuff like that out there, but, you know, maybe not everything has to go to the dog park, and not everything has to go be shown off. Doing stuff, you know, definitely taking classes, stuff like this, that's out here for everyone to learn is essential. And, doing just poor work and putting it out there, and then acting and having an attitude instead of seeking to understand and having an education type conversation with people is really key to that. And a lot of people just get nasty about it, and they're like, you don't like my dog, well, fuck you,
Right.
And that's
Well,
not the attitude to take.
No.
And there's going to be only a percentage of people that like anything you do. And I've done big, fundraising events and things like that where I've taken and I've put literally my best work out there, and it's been received well, and not by everybody, and you have to have approach it with education.
But in general, you can't please everybody ever.
True.
So some people, and you kind of get a feel.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
You read that face.
You do.
You get that.
Yes, you do. And you kind of,
Why?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do for this person,
Yep.
but there's somebody next to that person that wants to know.
Yeah.
Probably not necessarily happy about what she sees or
Yep.
he sees, but he wants to know why.
Yeah.
What are you using?
It's the
and
most
why
common
are you
questions.
doing it?
Yep.
What are you using is first question.
Almost always is
Always.
what is on that dog?
Yeah.
And I always say the same thing every single time. I give it a very generic answer, and I call it pet safe color.
Yeah.
I don't say dye, because their brain goes to when they're
Color.
sitting in a hair salon, and it's the chemicals and the smells and everything else, and they're like, poor dog.
But it's funny how she's going to sit there for 3 hours with chemicals on her head.
Right.
But it's like
Yes.
killing the dog.
Right. Right, always.
Well, it's
So,
killing all of us.
I always say pet safe color.
Eventually.
Exactly, right? My roots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always say pet safe color. I always make sure that I'm talking about the dog's comfort and stuff like that. They're like, poor dog. And I stop and I go, oh, why poor dog? And they're like, well, it's just got to sit there forever. And I'm like, no, it's regular grooms, everyday grooms is between 2 and 3 hours is what I tell them. And then I'm like, this is the same amount of time. It's just a different technique. I'll often talk about the way the color goes on. The color goes on like shampoo.
Yeah.
Right? Like on a dry coat, just like shampoo.
Yeah.
And then we rinse it off, and then it lasts for, 10 washes or so. It depends on what colors you're using and stuff. So I always try to educate people, and then they go, oh, okay.
But that's because ignorance is bliss. You can't-
Exactly.
And that's why people assume shit all the time.
All the time.
And make their own decisions
And judgments.
opinions
Yes.
and judgments
Yes.
on assumption.
Yeah.
I mean, uneducated guess is my least favorite thing in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Exactly.
You can assume, but assume in your head, and if you don't really know, ask. And
Yes.
if you guys see a client in the lobby that sees a creative dog and makes a face, they all do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe gently offer some kind of education.
Yes.
Just gently. Don't push, don't get, what is that face about that? Because a lot of
Right.
groomers do that.
Yes, they do.
So don't do that to the client. The client doesn't deserve that. And if they don't know, they don't know.
It's true. It's not
just-
out there.
No, it's not. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
Deb was on...
One of those.
Why do I forget the name of that
Pooch
show?
Perfect.
Pooch Perfect. Because I don't like the word perfect, probably.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
But Deb was on it, and it was a fun show, I'm guessing, because I was looking at, I didn't watch the whole thing, I'm
Mildly
sorry.
cheesy.
but-
No, me either.
Yeah.
Mildly cheesy, fun, but and Rebel Wilson with her punchy little punchlines.
Well,
and
Rebel
stuff.
is fun,
She's
anyway.
fun. Real
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I know.
Especially behind the scenes.
Yes, I know. I've heard lots of it. Well, my friend Colin worked with her a lot.
Yes.
So,
I love her.
yeah.
But yeah.
And people see, I think it was a mistake to shock people
Yes.
on national TV with that. Because the reaction was not positive. Polarizing.
Very polarizing.
And so it needed to be like it was supposed to be.
Exactly. And if anyone watched the one in Australia, I had a VPN. I watched Colin. I
Yes.
watched all of that. And what that one was more of a salon creative without dyes and without that
And
stuff.
a lot more purebreds.
A lot more purebreds and a lot more, honestly, education too. There was a lot of, and a little more like character development.
England was a lot more towards purebred dogs, which was also great.
Yep.
And Rebel comes from dog family.
Exactly.
So her mom was a judge. She was a junior handler.
Yeah. So
she understands. But
yeah, but we were all like kind of shocked because we were kind of told the whole time like this is like we're gonna have elements of creative.
I know.
And then it was all of a sudden it was like they gave us a bunch of themes. They're like, hey, what do you what would you do for holiday theme? What would you do for this theme, and we would have to come up with 3 for each theme, and we're like, okay, and then we had no clue when or what or if that any of that was going to happen, and we were all baffled.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And a lot of it was shocking for us, especially that some of the people that were not creative people.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was very interesting. So, and then America, I mean, was just as shocked or more shocked than we were.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep, and we had lots of pushback. I mean, I don't know if you saw that 60-minute hit piece.
No, I didn't.
I was all over that. Mostly Phil and I were on that one, and I was like, oh my God. And it was just like, wow. I had people hate calling. They were calling my salon and like attacking me verbally and stuff like that. And I'm like, what?
That happens all the time. And did you see what was it last week, 2 weeks ago at Westminster? They had to pick the people up from the ground and carry them by feet and arms.
Oh, the people
off
unlocking the crates and stuff.
Off the what was it? It was some kind of a I think it was agility field.
Yeah.
They had to pick them up and carry them off the field. I mean, they're all over the place.
Yes.
And I know it wasn't pleasant.
Yes.
But I just had Bill for the Pink Table Talk talking about Groomer Has It. So I'm going to ask you the same question.
Oh, God. Okay.
So you are our instructor at Groom House, and we have quite a few. And like I was saying, we were talking with Bill. I said, well, not every good groomer is a good teacher, is one.
Yeah, that's true.
And not every good groomer and the teacher is good on camera.
Yes.
And so if you have somebody that is amazing at grooming and knows their shit and could teach a lot, but cannot for like the life of them be on camera, do you think it's a good idea to put them through media training?
Yes.
Did you go through it?
Sort of.
Well, Bill said they went through it after the show.
Okay, so we didn't have what you would, I guess, consider like media training, but we had a lot of like prep, where we had Zoom meetings and stuff like that, where they're trying to discuss with us like what to expect and what things are going to mean and how things are going to go. And we were doing this at the height of COVID.
Yes.
So we had shields, masks, cheek swabs, everything all the time. So it was just very, very intense. But I think a lot of the... Oh.
What's wrong? Can't hear me?
It was covered.
Okay. Put it here. Is that better? Okay.
So yeah, so we had like a lot of prep for that, but we didn't have like necessarily media training, and we had a lot of direction. And then we were behind the scenes. We had to go and do all these like this kind of stuff where they're asking you a bunch of questions, and you're in this like little like RV thing that's all soundproof and lighted, and I was like, oh my God.
And the camera in your face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The hardest thing was having to go back and forth in time.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, we missed something yesterday. So you have to put your clothes on from the previous day.
Same clothes.
Same clothes from the previous day, and then they want you to talk about yesterday as if it was right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's hard.
Oh, Jordan was amazing at that. I was terrible.
Yeah.
They were like, go back to yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
I
it
don't
wasn't that great.
know what happened.
So there was a
10
lot
minutes
of
ago.
training as we went through.
Right. So did you have like a coach?
We had our producers.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're like coaches.
Yes. And each producer had like a team.
Okay.
And so, and they were all like betting behind the scenes and everything. It was great.
Oh, wow.
So they had a vested interest in us being amazing, you know?
Okay. So now that we know the process, did it help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you have somebody in that group that was horrible on camera? Don't name names, just for, general. And did it help them in the end?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
so some kind of media training or
Yes.
coach is helpful.
Yes.
Okay. We'll do that then.
Yes. I
'Cause,
think that,
it's just sometimes you really want somebody to be an educator on the platform, but you really are scared to
Yes.
put them on camera. And it's just,
yeah.
and I'm sure that if we did something like that, it'd be so much better.
I think so too, and I think, a lot of times too, and I think I'm more comfortable talking on camera just because of the experience I had. But,
There you go. There you go.
Stick a camera, no less than 6 cameras in my face at any given time, right? And then the little GoPros are all hanging around. And stuff. But having that experience, it was absolutely terrifying for me to be on camera prior to this whole experience. Now I'm much more comfortable. I kind of ignore the cameras. It was a desensitization for me. And being hot mic'd from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Wonder the things that came out of my mouth, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you kind of get to a point where you're more comfortable with that stuff. I think too, like you're saying, you do have to have the 3 things.
Yes.
You do have to have the trifecta, right? You got to be a really good groomer. You got to be a really good teacher. You have to be able to translate what it is you're doing in verbal forms, in simplified for somebody to understand what you're getting at, and then being able to do that while you're on camera. I know somebody that is amazing, amazing groomer, an amazing teacher. Turn the camera on, it stops. It stuttered, just everything dies.
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Yes.
You gotta have the trifecta.
Yes. So and it's hard to watch. And somebody that I know very well that I can speak with on the regular is so comfortable in person. And I could ask them anything. And then you just turn the camera on and and they can't do the simple skill.
It happens, yeah.
So I think, media training is good. And I think it's good just in general. Like, I think it's good. The more media we have in our lives now, all the TikToks and all the things, it's...
But all the things on social media, you can edit.
Yeah.
If you go live, but all the reels and all the videos, they could be edited. So that's not it. What I'm saying is live.
The live.
Because also, you guys, by the way, there's 2 recorded master classes, and we're not telling you on what. You're going to have to tell your friends to go sign up and watch it later because it's amazing. But I mean, this is, if I don't say so myself, this is the best educational platform.
By far.
By far, right?
By far.
So
there's nothing at all that compares to this for what we do in our industry.
Right.
There's nothing.
I believe that. And so, and the quality of shit is amazing. But what I'm saying is, guys, whoever's watching, go tell your groomer friends because this is invaluable and so dirt cheap.
It's so dirt cheap. And I think, too, a lot of people don't really understand, like, the value, and that value grows. You support and you give your, monthly fee and things. And as this all grows, the content grows, the equipment gets better, everything gets better, everything truly gets better. And just like when you start to groom, you're like, you look back at your shit grooms from 10, 15 years ago and like where you are now. And it's the same exact thing. And like I did a class here, and like I came back here. It's been a couple of years now, and I'm like, whoa, look at the stuff. And look at the lighting. Look at everything.
It's growing, of
It's
course.
amazing, and the skills are growing, and like the dogs, like the angles, everything else. There's nothing else out there that
No, I
that
don't
can even
think so.
compare to that.
Yeah.
And there's and I deal with like a lot of training videos out there because I do train a lot of groomers,
Yeah.
and the groomers are always complaining, and a lot of it is that exact thing, like you were saying, like they turn into a total dumbass when the camera turns on. Good, amazing people,
Yeah.
and then like you get these newbies that come in that are learning, and they're like, oh my god, I have to sit through this. This is horrible, and I give them the in the beginning, I'm like, I know, and this is a really nice person, and I really love this person, and this person is amazing, but you know, you turn the camera on, and it's like, oh. So this stuff is
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
far
definitely.
uncomparable.
So yeah, well, we know each other for quite some time.
Yeah.
Me and Deb.
Yeah, years.
And
Many, many
now,
years.
and now that I'm thinking back, it definitely did wonders. The show.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm looking at your grooms, dude. It's like night and day from when I
Thank
met
you. Yes, I've paid a lot in training too.
I know.
You've been one of the most amazing mentors to me
But-
in my whole career. If I see you're judging, I'm there.
But I mean, it shows. It really shows in your work. And it's
Thank you.
education is everything, I think. And
it is.
I mean, the online platforms is great, but then you have to go back and you have to have a mentor.
Yes.
And you have to put that dog on the table and put your hands in it.
Yeah.
But without this basic stuff that you can watch and listen to.
Yep.
Not basic, but online. I'm not saying
Right.
hands-on. Is invaluable right now.
Yes.
It really is. In schools, I only know what couple of schools, a few schools in this country that
2 to 3, yeah.
yeah, that is actually putting out groomers. I'm not gonna say amazing groomers.
Right.
Maybe
Basic.
a few, but basic groomers, and they don't have the complete education.
Correct.
It's just, yeah, they have instructors, hands-on, some videos, yes, but it's not complete.
No.
And I wish
Yeah.
we could come up with something like that one day.
Like
Complete.
a package that a school could maybe pay for, you know, for their
Complete,
students.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a complete
Yep.
package of education. So somebody could graduate from school and go be a decent groomer.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're lacking there.
We are
Sometimes
lacking,
sometimes it's scary.
Also, what is really kind of on like minimal attention of everybody is safety and behavior.
Correct. Those are the two first things I always focus on.
Yep, but nobody really does.
Nope.
Almost nobody does.
Correct.
So, yeah, we go and we watch the video, listen to the instructor, and then they slap a dog on their table.
Yep.
And they tell you to start clippering, scissoring, whatever, without
I know.
ever doing a safety course.
Yes, that's accurate.
Or a behavior, an animal canine behavior,
Yes.
which is
Essential.
essential.
For your safety as well as the dog's safety, but
Absolutely.
your own safety, you have to be able to see what that dog is thinking, and they show you. They show
Yep.
you what they're thinking.
If you pay attention and you know what you're looking for,
Yes.
you know exactly what's going on.
Yes, you get the little bottom eyelid. Oh, you're happy, sweet, you know. And there's
Yeah.
so much that goes into that.
And then the eyeball roll,
Yeah.
one, and you know, okay, I'm stepping back.
exactly.
couple of feet.
Yes.
So
And
it
that
should be
tense-
on that.
yeah,
It
yep.
should be on that automatic level before you actually start grooming at like a heavy duty, big value salon because you really don't have time
No.
at the salon to learn about behavior
Yep.
or whether this dog is gonna bite the shit out of your face right now and you didn't know that.
Right. And you see
a-
that in all the groups. You
Yes,
see it
you
in all
do.
the groups on the regular. And I was like, whoa, number one, what was your face doing there?
Yes, exactly.
Every time. And you get you get the customers that hand you the dog. Nope, you're gonna put your dog on the floor.
You know what?
Unless I know that dog very, very well, you know.
Exactly.
But there's little things like that. And then, and, just lately, I think a lot of especially the younger groomers are like hypersensitive to feelings and like coddling and things like that. And so it's
The
been
younger people
yes,
in
Yes.
general.
true, yes,
And then you
yes,
add
yes,
a special person groomer
Yes.
into that.
yes, yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying it's bad, it just is.
It is,
This is
exactly.
what it is right now.
Yep.
And so
So the more
We're-
education we
yeah.
have on those things, but here's my question: how do you get somebody to watch something like that? Like we were talking, like prep videos and things like that, and things that are very, very basic, essential skills that bring your level all the way
Yeah.
up.
Well, when
How
it
do you
comes,
get them to understand that they need to watch this and they need to start here?
see, when it comes to schools, I wouldn't let them touch a dog before they go
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
But if it's an individual stylist, groomer out there,
Yep.
then it's gonna take one serious bite.
Yes. It is.
And then
And that's
if
sad.
they have a brain,
They learn
they'll-
from it.
They'll learn from it and sit there and think, okay, what can I do so this doesn't happen again?
Right.
And then, there's Google, there's groups,
Mm-hmm.
other people out there. They can ask questions, and
Yeah.
let's say this answer she liked, and this answer she didn't like, so she's gonna go the path of this answer.
The least resistance.
Yes, but at least there's an initial effort to
Yes.
find out.
Yeah.
But unless there's a serious bite, God forbid, guys, we don't wish that upon anybody, but
Right.
it happens. So do yourselves a favor and start researching that stuff
Exactly.
now
Yes.
before you get bit, before the dog gets injured, God forbid, on your table, because you don't know all that safety kind of issue stuff and all of that. Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
In regards to these topics, no.
Oh, so
Some
Dan,
color stuff.
Color stuff. We'll wait for Michelle then. The bucket bitch is slow.
is she? I think you can answer some color
Oh,
stuff.
I definitely can answer it
Yeah.
if we want to go into any of those.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Is there a bleach that's okay to use on a dog?
There is a company that makes a pet safe. We don't call it bleach, but it's volume 40 peroxide. And there are ones made for pets. Yes.
Can all dog coats be colored?
The more coarse the coat, the harder it is to color. So in those cases, usually using a two-part processing, like if you were, let's just say, had a wire fox terrier, for example, those things are like stain master carpet. Like there's nothing's gonna set in. You really have to process that hair. A lot of the out of the tube colors in the color companies, a lot of that just won't stick to a very coarse coat. That's why I always color test. And if it's one of my own dogs, I shave a piece of my dog's coat off and I test and I dip it in the color to see exactly how it's gonna take every time. So I make like little swatches, little wiggies, and little rubber band around it. And so for my own dogs, I know exactly how every color is gonna take on my own dogs.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Color question.
Yeah.
Maybe people need to know that too. So, we have show dogs.
Yes.
And they're solid color.
Yes.
We have black, brown, white,
Yes.
silver. We're not going to talk about silver right now.
Yeah, I'll put that one on the back burner. I get that
what-
question a lot.
I mean, normally, and we enhance color when we show dogs. Absolutely. And it's the truth, and everybody does that.
Yep.
But we've been using water-based human color.
Yep.
No bleach, nothing, nor peroxide, just water-based. It worked. It works on some dogs, but it doesn't on some. Is there pet safe color that we can use on show dogs that is solid and looks natural? No?
I'm gonna give you a short answer and a long answer.
Okay.
Okay. Short answer is it can be done.
We did it.
Yes.
You and I.
Yes, we did. Whitening.
There's a video out there.
So there are ways that you can match a color exactly that you're looking for,
Are you talking brown including?
including brown,
Ooh,
including
okay.
silver. Because I've done it.
Ooh, damn.
You gotta be.
We're gonna have to have a conversation.
There's a color wheel situation that you're gonna be dealing with,
Okay.
and you need a color company that has very consistent colors. That not when they manufacture one batch, it's slightly
So
different.
It could be inconsistent. I didn't even know that.
Yes, it can.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's something new for me.
And I've been in a situation where I've taken one color company and I've done a brown because I wanted to make a deer,
Right.
and it was purple. It came in purple. So there's
We don't want purple show dogs. No.
Yeah. And like in the Bedlington Terrier world and stuff like that, you get a lot of dogs that don't have a lot of the color guard hairs and things like that. So there's a lot of that goes down. And sometimes I've walked into the show ring and I've gone, what the heck? It looks like pumpkin spice or like purplish blue on a blue Bedlington. And I'm like, oh my God. So yes, I've done it. Normally I mix every single color myself when I'm doing even creatives, because I think a lot of people know I do a lot of like animals. I don't do characters.
Yeah.
I do more like realistic animals, and they don't make those colors. And
So you have to mix
so
them
I
up.
have to mix them up myself, and I literally use the color wheel, and I do literally the 3 colors and a clear. So my clear is my carrier, and then I use my 3 colors, and I blend them all up.
We're
So,
gonna
yeah.
have to have
We're gonna have to have a talk.
in-depth conversation. But it is possible.
Yes.
There is color.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.